Hey, everybody. So welcome. We are so excited to be able to share pieces of our journey and our stories and what this wellness community is and how it's truly impacted our lives and the lives around us. So we're going to try to keep this short and sweet. I know we have lots of faces to share stories. So we're each going to share a bit of our stories and then we'll answer a few questions at the end. So we'll let go. If I can talk, I will let Tiffany go ahead and or not Tiffany, Kate, go ahead and take it away. I swear I have a brain, guys.
All right. Hi, guys. I'm Kate. For those of you who don't know, I was just going to share a little bit about my journey. When I first started, I didn't like working out. I hated nutrition. I was really not looking forward to that part. And so I didn't really go all in at first. It took me about a year to get consistent with it. But it was something that I knew was important. And so kind of begrudgingly committed to, and I was like, I don't want to do it, but I know I need to do it and it's good for me. So I'm going to do it. So I started with just the workouts, and I got to the point where I was doing my workouts every day, but I wasn't seeing much of a difference. I did still see a difference, but not like I knew I was capable of. And I got really frustrated with it because I was like, all right, I'm doing these workouts. I'm getting up before I go to work and I'm spending my 30 minutes. So I want to see these results. And I was like, all right, I think it's time. I need to actually go all in instead of just, halfway. And so I was already drinking the shake because it's easy to add stuff in. Like that wasn't something I struggled with, but what I struggled with was the nutrition side. So I was like, okay, it's time. Let's go all in. And I went through and I watched all the videos. I read the recipes and went through the workbook and calculated. I started with portion picks, so calculated my containers. And once I went all in, that was when I really saw a difference. And that was right before I got pregnant. And it was, I think, like a matter of just a couple months. And I lost 20 pounds to start off with. And then got pregnant and gained 95 pounds. And then during my pregnancy, I really I had a hard time and I was really sick. So I just ate whatever I wanted. And then as soon as I had them and was cleared to work out again, I went all in again and recommitted to everything. And that was the point where I really saw a difference. And at first, it's hard to get consistent and you slip up, but you just keep up with it. And if you do it, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, because it is going to happen. Like these programs work as long as you actually show up and put in the work. And so once I did that and I committed and stayed consistent with it and showed up and did the work, I lost all of my pregnancy weight. And then I also lost an additional 10 pounds, I think. So 105 pounds that I've lost in total. And it's something that I never would have thought was possible before, but that's because I didn't have the systems in place. I didn't have the tools. I was just going to go for a run for a week and maybe stop eating dessert. And I thought it would happen, but that's not what you need to do. You need to actually know what you're doing. And that's what our programs offer, because it teaches you what you need to do for long-term change. And as long as you show up and you follow it, it's going to happen. That's all there is to it. It's really simple. You just have to commit and go all in and do it. But it really does work.
I love that. And what Kate didn't share, she had twin yeah. Mama, and she lost 105 pounds with twins. Y'all, she's amazing. Just throwing that out there. But okay, so now let's go to Tiffany if I can get my brain on straight, and Tiffany will share a little bit more about her journey.
Hello, I'm Tiffany, of course. It's crazy to think that I have been coaching. This is my 5th year now. So that is just wild. It goes by fast. And I really love that. I feel like I'm continuously learning and still becoming my best self. It's one of the best things about this community. Nutrition, of course, is huge. Nutrition, I would have to say, is even more important than fitness, because there are some seasons in life where, workouts are just, they're not possible for people, but we all have to eat to survive. Like that is necessary. So Beachbody has offered so many great nutritional tools. Now, I really think with nutrition, you have to invest in the time and the planning to really get the benefits out of it. But we have 2 great nutritional programs to choose from. You can take a quiz to find out which one is best for you. We also have, of course, our Shakeology, which is I like to call it our superfood shake, because it's more than just a protein shake. I know when I was younger, I had bought the stuff at the grocery store, like I drank Slim Fast. And when you start comparing ingredients, Shakeology is really superior with all the benefits it has in it. They offer a whey and a vegan formula. I have never had anyone return a bag of Shakeology yet, because everybody really loves it. They say it's the best tasting shake there is. I personally, I like to read labels now. I like to know what is in something before I'm eating it, which took me a long time to get there. But it's amazing sometimes the stuff that you can buy, and then you look at it and you realize what's really in it. So I always stress, make sure you know what you're putting in your body, because sometimes some things are misleading. And Shakeology has been huge for me because it can be on the go. I worked full time for a long time, and when I had to get up at 5 a.m. and I needed some nutrition on the go, I could just mix my shake with some almond milk or water, and I knew that I was at least getting a dense nutrition meal before all the fun started at work. So you can really implement it into about any time of day into your schedule. And of course, the flavors are great. Another thing that it has recently launched that I wanted to mention is the gut protocol. So this is Autumn's newest launch. There's a lot of excitement for this program because, we're finding that gut health is so much more important than maybe we previously had known. And it's our second brain, because if your gut is not healthy, your immune system basically sucks. So you really have to take care of your body, and everyone's is different. So that's what's really fun about this program is you're eliminating some things and then really diving in and finding out, what's benefiting your body and what's not. So much excitement, and I can't wait to see people's results with this program, because I know it's just going to be amazing. And who doesn't want to learn more about their body so they can better fuel it? So it's going to have a lot of power.
Amen. I am so excited. Like that it's going to be life changing.
Yes.
Anyway, it has been so far with all of the results that we've seen come out of test groups, but going all in is going to be a whole new story.
Right.
All right. So Miss Kara, you are up next. And Kara's doing from her truck.
I'm gonna say, I hope you can see me like fine. I've got like all the lights on in my truck, but that's the lovely versatility of this business, is you can do it anywhere. So hopefully you can see me okay. But my journey started 3 years ago, a little over 3 years ago. And I feel like I look back 3 years and I do not recognize myself. Like I never thought I would be the person I am today. And one of the huge things that changed in me was my confidence. And it's something that I even like today will say, like, not just a wellness coach, but like a confidence coach, because it's something that changed so much in me. And when I started my journey 3 years ago, I was purely surviving day to day, and I was living my life for everything else but myself. And I was trying to please everybody and show up for everybody as best as I could. And in the end, I was just deteriorating slowly. And on top of having several chronic illnesses, that does not match up. And it was just killing me. And I kept telling myself that it's not always going to be this way. But then things started getting worse, and it was like, well, maybe this is just life. And I just felt so small all the time until I decided to go all in. And it was just, I'm going to do this. And so I started in the challenge group, and I started, my first program was 8-a-day obsession. And I started with these workout programs, dove into the nutrition programs, and it almost felt like a light switch. And I dove into the community that was in our challenge group, and I saw all these women showing up day to day. And it was like, holy cow, if all these women who, have kids, have these problems, have this life stuff going on, like, I for sure can be showing up for this. And the more that I showed up, the more that I not only felt physically better, but like my mental health was starting to really change. And then what was I doing? I was taking care of myself. I decided to put myself first in these small things that's taking, less than your day, honestly, just to show up and do these things. And my confidence started to shift by taking care of myself, investing in myself. It was like that light bulb. And I started to feel that I was really just coming into who I was meant to be. I started helping people at the same time. And there's no better thing than to be helping people while helping yourself. Like, that is something that I will always say, if you're not helping somebody, then what are you doing? And so I started helping people. And it just was like, if I can do this, then you can do this, and let's just do this together. And that grew my confidence even more, helping people and seeing their confidence change, and getting those messages like, oh my goodness, I just took a picture in the mirror and it completely changed. And I lost maybe like barely anything, but I lost 15 inches or something crazy. And it was just like seeing people's confidence change just like mine did. It's just contagious. And this community, I wouldn't have the confidence in life in general. I know it sounds crazy that join this community and you'll have all this confidence, but it's not an overnight thing. It's not like you join and it's like, oh yeah, you just get this rush of confidence. It's like Kate said, it's showing up and doing the work. And it's not just physical results. It's really mental health results. It's confidence results, and the way that you feel about yourself. And then you start to realize it's not about what other people think of you, it's how you think of you. And that is just something that once you start learning that, I mean, life just gets a lot better and a lot easier, and you just are so much happier. So that's something that my journey, I will always talk about, because that challenge group really did change my life in that aspect hugely.
I could literally listen to you talk all night. I'm not even lying. You just like radiate all of this like positivity and joy, and like it's just so real and authentic. But thank you so much for sharing. I couldn't have said it better myself. Definitely not. All right. So Miss Rachel, we're gonna have you share your journey now. I'd love to hear it.
Well, of course, mine hasn't been very long as everybody else's, but I am learning as I go, and I'm getting stronger physically and mentally. Of course, for me, my biggest thing was at the beginning was, of course, the finances at first. And I was like, well, I'm just going to do it. And I paid the money, and I was like, okay. Well, then I struggled with consistency for like ever. And well, then finally, like the beginning of this year, I was chasing my daughter, who she crawls like really fast. So I'm like, I can't even like bend over and breathe without being short of breath. I'm like, this is not good. So I was like, and I've always was like, I'm sick and tired of this. I'm sick and tired of this. Well, I finally got sick and tired and actually, started doing it. And I've been consistent with it and working out every day and doing better with my nutrition. So that's always the big thing for me, is consistency, because that's where I struggled. So now I'm trying to take that and turn it into my fuel, like for me, like mentally, like, okay, you can do this every day. You can do it. You can do it. So, but what, like the nutrition for me, pretty big too. So I love the Shakeology, and some days I don't get to it, but most of the time I can. It's so easy. So like if I'm rushing around, like running errands or paying bills or grocery shopping or whatever I need to do, I can fix the Shakeology, and it's easy. And I don't have to stop at Chick-fil-A or Zaxby's or whatever fast food place, and it's cheaper. It, like, you spend most time, especially now with all the prices going up on everything, you're going to spend probably $10, on a meal on lunch. So if you go to lunch every day, I mean, that's it's quite a bit, it adds up. So you compare that to a $4 Shakeology roughly a day, if for 30 days. I mean, the prices, there's really no comparison there. And then as far as like going to the gym, like if you decide, oh, I'm going to go to the gym, it's $50 to $60 a month, and it's more if you have to pay cash. So it's like, really and truly, in 2 months to 4 months, you can pay for a whole year of Shakeology rather than going to the gym for 2 months. So, and then you have to spend gas money, and gas is crazy right now. So, I mean, you don't have to go anywhere. Like, you can do it in your home. You can use your computer. You can use your phone, the TV. For me, that was like the best thing. I don't have to wake up at 5 in the morning and run down to the gym. I can just go walk into the living room, and I can watch and monitor Stella as she sleeps. So it's a win-win for me. And I know that, it's easy for everybody else. At first you're kind of like, oh, that's kind of a lot of money. But then when you really look at it and like, oh, well, I don't have to spend gas money. I don't have to go buy the fast food to get breakfast or lunch or whatever, that really and truly the price comparison is like, oh, well, that's nothing. So but yeah, I love it. I'm working on it, and I'm trying to share with everybody else too, because I know, because everybody's like, well, I can get a trainer at the gym. Like, well, trainers are really expensive, and then you have to pay for the gym too. So it's like, I have a virtual trainer right here. So that's what it is for me. About it. It's so much easier, and everything. Convenience is everything for everybody. And to me, it's super convenient, and so it's great. I love it.
Especially being a mom too, because then you have to figure out childcare. You have to figure out all of these other pieces. Like, I 1,000% relate, because I was very, very similar in my beginning too. Like, your beginning doesn't, like, it's where you start, and then you keep showing up, and then you grow. And it's such I love seeing everybody at different levels. And I think that it's really powerful to see that's how you relate. That's how you really make it, you see it, visualize it for your life. But so I am going to try to share really quickly. That's going to be laughable, because you guys know me and I don't talk quickly at all. But I am Jen, and I'm the mom of 2 crazy boys. I am 28 weeks pregnant with a little girl, and life is super crazy. But I think about it now and how crazy it is. And I think about when I started, which was almost 5 years ago. And, I see the new mom that was struggling in so many ways. And I relate to Karen and hearing the confidence piece, because that was where I struggled more than anything. I didn't have belief in myself. I felt guilty for being a stay-at-home mom and not bringing in an income. I was struggling with postpartum depression, and then on top of it, I was unhappy. I'd gained over 50 pounds in my first pregnancy with just one baby, not to. And I was just unhappy. I didn't recognize myself in the mirror. I avoided them like the plague. And I then was like, okay, well, I'm gonna fix this. And so I would do a crash diet, and I would fall off within a week. I would make my own Pinterest workouts and fall off within like 3 days because I hated working out. And it just never stuck. I was the epitome of inconsistency. And so, starting this journey wasn't something that was easy for me, because I saw this hamster wheel of all of these failures that I had been on time and time again. And it was just one more thing that I was going to fail at, one more thing that I was going to be inconsistent at, and prove to my husband that he was right. And so, I look at it, and I wasn't ready. I hear that so often, is like, it's not the right time. It's not the right time. And I was that person. It was never the right time. And the right time was never going to come. I had to start before I was ready. I had to start and take that leap before I was ready, because it was never going to be that right time. You have to physically make it, mentally make it the right time. So, I like Rachel, I struggled with the finances. We didn't have the frame, like that wasn't something that was easy. So, I scraped together between birthdays and Christmas, and cutting out Starbucks and cutting out Target trips and wherever I could, to make that happen. And it did. It was on my birthday, my 30th birthday. Like, I'm going to do this. Like, this is happening. And so, I did, I went all in, I got amazing results. 21 Day Fix was my program. And, I went in with nutrition, and I felt amazing. I had energy to keep up with my son. My body positivity was there. Like, I was growing in my mindset. Self-growth was like everything. I was proud. I was proud that I actually stuck to something, and that I could prove that I was consistent. And so I see all that as like, if I hadn't made that decision, if I hadn't taken that leap, then I would not have survived the next 5 years. I swear to God, because it got crazy. I thought that life was hard then, and it went berserk. I'd gone back to work part-time as a tech. Then soon after, we moved, and we've been in 3 different states in the past 5 years. I've been through 2 pregnancies, soon to be 2 postpartums, plenty of loss, and all kinds of life challenges along the way. But I see that girl that was really inconsistent, and I see the craziness that life grew. And there's no way I would have made time for me if I was still this girl. There's no way I would have found that peace and that strength in myself if I was still that girl. But I allowed myself to create time. I allowed myself to, like, make 20 minutes for myself in a crazy time or crazy season. We were living with our realtor at one point, and I still was able to work out with our herd of animals and kids. It was just crazy. But these programs you can take anywhere with you. The nutrition you take with you to a restaurant, you take with you on vacation, you take with you wherever you go. It's so simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. When you go all in and you commit to a lifestyle change, like, that's it. That's what's going to change your life, is when you allow it to change your life, and you allow yourself to ditch the excuses of, I don't have time, or I, like, whatever. The excuses go on for hours, forever, for everybody. We all have different excuses, and so I think back to that. And if I hadn't made that decision then I wouldn't have inspired people around me along the way. I wouldn't have been able to give this to my family, or be able to be the mom that I wanted to be. And it all started with one really scary decision that was hard as heck, but it was worth it to change my life. And it just all started with that one step, that one click of a button. So that's me in a nutshell. And so I know that Kara has some questions that she took. And so I think that is our next step.
Yeah, I have some questions from my Instagram. I'm going to go through them and there's some duplicates. One of the ones, I think that between all of this, you kind of explained a little bit, but it was, do we all follow the same nutrition plan in your challenge groups? And I think that Tiffany and Kate touched on that like a decent amount, that there's multiple different nutrition plans, and there's two main ones that you can choose from. And there's one that's more strict, that's a container system. And then there's one that's a little bit more relaxed. And how would you consider 2B mindset? There's a word I'm thinking of.
Intuitive eating.
Intuitive eating.
The
Thank you.
intuition teaches you about your body. Yes.
Thank you. Intuitive eating. So, and then there are like cleanses on there as well, but that's not to stay on consistently. But there's 2 nutrition programs to choose to stay on consistently that you can do.
And I love that they work in any season of life, like even pregnancy. Like that's me right now to be pregnant.
Right. There is a what kind of accountability comes with the group? Like, what are you talking about when we say accountability?
I think that's a great question. Anybody want to take it? Okay. Yeah, Kate, you go for it, girl.
Yeah, I can touch on that a little bit. So in the group, you obviously will, each of us, whoever you sign up with will coach you one-on-one in whatever way you need. So I have people who sign up and they're like, give me all the tools, show me how to do it. And then like, I don't need one-on-one check-ins. And then I have people who are like, I want to talk to you like at least once a week. I need you to keep me on track and hold me extra accountable. And so there's the one-on-one accountability piece that you'll get from your personal coach. And then in the challenge group, we all log and share our workouts and our posts, or our workouts and our shakes each day. So we go through and like, we'll do a sweaty selfie and like, oh, I got done with Let's Get Up, like week 4, I'm on it. And then, we can cheer each other on and keep it on track. And then it's fun too, because if you start the program at the same time as someone else in the same group, then you guys can progress together and like kind of keep up with each other that way as an accountability partner. And then the other thing we do is like we'll share our progress, so like share our wins, or if you're struggling or going through something hard, you can share that as well. And then like we lean on each other for support. And so you just have this amazing group of people who are all on the same path, making the same changes. Because one of the things that happens when you start to make changes is that the people in your life, if they're not making those same changes, then they will sort of get in there, like they'll sometimes spread negativity, because like, say someone's not working out and they see you starting to work out, they're gonna be like, you can't stick with that. You're not gonna be able to be consistent, whatever, XYZ. It's gonna be hard. You won't have the time. Because they're using those on excuses for themselves. And so to justify their own actions, they're going to put that on you. And so we all have that in our life, our regular life. And so this is a place where you can come together and get away from that and get support from people who are on the same path, who are overcoming the same struggles. And you'll find people who have been doing it for years, and you'll find people who just started this month. So no matter what stage in your journey you're at, there's someone doing it right alongside you. So that's the beautiful part of the community we have.
I love that you touched on that with the other people in your life piece. That's something that gets so overlooked, but it's so real.
Yeah, it is.
Gosh, I absolutely love that. Yes, 100 times yes. This one, I know that the cost is not bad, but I have the hardest time investing in myself.
Definitely feel like Rachel touched on that one, but that's a big one. Like, and that, I mean, I feel like that goes to Kara, like that goes in that confidence and that belief piece, because that investing in yourself.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And it's like they said, like the caution, you look at it all, it's not bad, but it's that excuse of you're not worth it. You're not going to be able to do this. And it's one of those things that you do invest in yourself, and you take that initial leap and you do the work and just let the progress happen. Like you allow it to happen in your life, and you slowly, with the help of the challenge group, weed out that negativity. And it's just one of those things you just got to jump, because like Jen said, there's never a right time. It's never going to be the right time.
Amen. And there's always that 30-day money back guarantee too, which not that you ever need it, but I think that just that peace of mind is like, okay, I know that if I totally flunk, I have this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do Do we have time for one more?
We do. We have about 5 minutes. So
Okay.
I think we got it. I'm very impressed with how well we all did here.
Right. So this one says, do you have to work out every single day in order to stay in the group?
And I no.
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 I'm about to enter postpartum and I will be without working out like 3+
Yeah.
weeks.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Rest days are important too.
They
Yes.
are. They are so important. I think that all of I think that was touched on in so many with nutrition. Like that's where that nutrition piece comes into play. Like you use the group as it fits in your life. That's what all of this is for, is to help facilitate accountability to your goals, which your goals are going to be different from Kate's goals or Rachel's goals or anybody
Right.
else's goals, but we all have a similar mindset. And so, maybe you're like Kara and you struggle with chronic illness and you have days where you can't work out. Okay, cool. That's totally fine. Drink your shake, show up, throw some positivity in there, do
Right.
gut protocol, like do something that's going to be good for your body and grow yourself. And you're still going to see amazing results. So I think that's a really valid question because, they can see us, like we're posting fitness and fitness and fitness, but it's not
Right.
all fitness. And more times than not, it's not fitness. It's about our life and how to overcome those obstacles. So
I was just saying that the other day. I was like, I'm about on Thursday to go and have a procedure done for my herniated discs in my lower back. I'm not working out every day with that, following. That's why I'm so thankful. I'm going to be doing the 4-week gut protocol. And I was like, perfect timing because I can really focus on that piece. And that was in and of itself is really encouraging to me, that I can still be focusing on myself and investing in myself and taking care of my body while it's going through this healing process. You don't have to feel like you have to damage your body and go hardcore every single day to get these results. It's just not real.
And there's even meditation too, which I think is really cool. And I think that one gets overlooked. Our platform has anything you can imagine,
Absolutely.
yoga and dance and, kickboxing. And obviously there's weights and all kinds of crazy stuff like that. But then there's 10-minute meditation, plug in for 21 days and let's work on the mindset muscle because that's the most important one. But all right, well, we are about out of time. So I think we should probably wrap up before it cuts us all off. But thank you all so much for sharing, for being here and watching and tuning in. This is such an amazing journey. It's such an amazing lifestyle. And you can see that we're not all the same. You can see that our journeys are very different, but they're all similarly aligned. And what you get is what you put in, and this lifestyle will absolutely change your life if you let it.